A year ago, we discussed how we thought Dorothy was going to be used in Wicked Part 2, aka for good. And now Arzu and I have a chance to talk about it after we've seen the movie. So, what do you think of Dorothy's role in the movie?
I'm glad they kind of kept up with the stage show idea of you don't really see her. You see her from behind, you see her in silhouette, but like she doesn't actually play a part in the musical. Because like this isn't about her. So I was a little worried like with the additional runtime that they might be tempted to incorporate her, but they don't, which I really liked.
Yeah, we see her feet. We see like the back of her head. We see shadows. We see people talking about her.
Yeah.
Which was my favorite part was Glinda is kind of annoyed with her. Which we joked about in that video, being like, there's a train and Glinda's telling her to walk this road.
Yeah. I mean, like having seen what we see in the movie with like travel permits and stuff like that, and like I understand why she's told to just walk to Oz.
Yeah, true.
It's probably more of a headache than it's worth, but I do think it's funny that everybody's just like, this kid's just like in the way, because it's funny in the context of the play that they're in the middle of this huge power vacuum, societal upheaval, revolution, and some teenager just dropped in like, I want to go home. And they're like, we don't have time to deal with you.
Yeah. And I love that when Elphaba calls her out for giving her sister's shoes, Glenda's like, I'm a figurehead. I'm just trying, whatever. Like she didn't really think it through.
But I also like that she got called out. She's like, this is not yours to give.
Mm-hmm. And I laugh so hard when Elphaba, you hear her just like shouting at Dorothy, like when she throws her in.
Yeah.
Like the cellar. She's like, just stop crying.
I remember
Elphaba's going through so much. Yeah.
That I
forgot about that.
That I think is word for word from the musical.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But like, I think also just like in the context of like being reminded, like after no good deed, after she lost like everything, there's just this child crying and she's just.
Have you seen the memes and stuff online about like, it's showing like Judy Garland crying in The Wizard of Oz and very faintly you can hear For Good playing on top of it.
Yeah. But I love the idea that like the Wizard of Oz version is the 1939 version is what Dorothy is seeing in her mind.
Yeah.
Like Elphaba seems like an ugly, like evil kind of thing, because that's how she's being portrayed in like propaganda. So maybe that's the way Dorothy sees her, even though she obviously doesn't look like that.
Yeah, like she's been dropped in the middle of this society that is in unrest. And all she's doing is trying to go home, and these witches are fighting. Yeah. And she somehow ended up in the middle of it.
I really do appreciate they didn't show her face because it's such an iconic role with Judy Garland. Anyone else would have been disappointing to people, I think.
I don't even think it's that. I just think it would have been distracting.
That's true.
Because
this isn't her story.
Like, it's not her story. And because I think most people who engage with Wicked have seen The Wizard of Oz, like, definitely, probably more than once. And associate the story with being Dorothy's story. I think if you bring Dorothy in it in such a big way, then you sort of expect the narrative to include her more. But by keeping her face out of it, they're really making the case that this is not about Dorothy, like at all.
Yeah. Talking to Katrina, we did a video about why Bach is the worst, which he is. And I kept help saying, like, I'm so glad that Dorothy met Piero first. Because of the way, like, Bach is just blaming every woman he knows. I wouldn't want him. And he's so angry.
He would be like, you're another one of the females who betrayed me. I saw somebody online call him a tinsel, and that's the funniest thing.
That's perfect. And yeah, when he's shouting after they meet the wizard, and he's like, yeah, no, I want vengeance, stuff like that. I'm like, Dorothy, run, girl. Run. He's very angry and he has an axe.
He's a little scary. That's not what this video is
really
about.
Scared
it's a little scary.
No, but yeah. So I was worried for Dorothy a little bit because it was a bit scarier than in the musical for me. Maybe because you see his face.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah. Toto was unleashed. Maybe this Oz has leash laws.
Could be. Could be.
Yeah. Trying to think what else.
Maybe it was this Oz's way of keeping him under control because he's an animal after all.
Oh, you're so right. Oh, that's smart, Arzu. Yeah, because animals aren't. We don't really see any other animals other than the lion left.
Yeah. So him being on a leash is like very much makes him property of Dorothy, and then it's less like because the only animals we see that aren't like running away are like the birds that are helping Glinda dress.
Yeah, and they're like servants.
So, yeah. So I think maybe that's why, or it could just be that the dog they hired to do this like was a flight risk, but from a story, it's interesting to consider.
That's what I was thinking too. I'm like, what if the dog was just like, I am overwhelmed by this yellow brick road and the amount of tulips. I can't do this.
Probably what it was, but
So there was like a little added Dorothy scene, which is we do see the wizard take off this balloon, which isn't in the musical. We just see Glinda being like, you need to leave. And he's like, okay, bye. Yeah. And you hear in the background when Glinda is confronting Madame
Marble.
Oh, God. Marble. And you just hear Dorothy just going, oh, don't leave without me. And Glinda's like, this kid.
Always something with this kid.
And just like she's getting like exasperated when like obviously her heart's broken for so many reasons. And she's just so done.
This is what we're thinking she's going to have to deal with.
I know, which I'm like very relatable. You know, you got a lot of going on, and there's this child just like can't do anything right. It feels like, yeah. We both like the way Dorothy was used. I'm excited for people who aren't as familiar with the Wicked musical, but know Wizard of Oz to see this part because so much of the movie takes place during the Wizard of Oz movie.
Right. Yeah, about half of Wicked for Good is during the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm going to take my mom next week, and I'm excited to see her reaction when she sees Dorothy, part of Dorothy. She sees which characters are her friends, the Tin Man and Scarecrow. So yeah, it's going to be a fun experience, and yeah, we hope everyone's enjoying Wicked.
Honestly, we are there. Yeah,
we're in our Wicked era.
Mm-hmm.
Which Dorothy wished she was never in her Wicked era. Yeah. But yeah,